Hey guys, come with us as we do the puppy's first solid feedings. As you can see, it looks like a delicious mush, which is exactly what it is. Pups are 3 weeks old today exactly, and today is their first solid foods. The way that I know that they're ready for that is they are able to walk around with their bellies up off the ground. Eyes are open, teeth are coming in, and they're interested in food. They're constantly trying to walk over and check out what mom's got. As you can see, I'm having to hold mom, Haruka, back because she wants their food. So I start out with, I don't know, I really guess and kind of eyeball things, but I would guess maybe a 1/4 cup of dry kibble per pup. I just had a 13x9 cake pan and sprinkled enough kibble in there to cover the bottom. We feed a good quality large breed puppy food. I'll usually recommend certain brands over others, but that can be difficult because it's not as economical as it used to be to feed the really high quality stuff. Not everyone can afford the best of the best. Not everyone can afford to keep their kids in Nikes. It's kind of the same thing. So feed the best you can, and that's okay. So what I do is that for that 3 weeks, that first time from 3 to 4 weeks, I put the kibble and then I saturate it in goat's milk. Raw goat's milk, raw cow's milk, those are probably the top 2 best things. If you can't afford it, water is better than nothing. But the object is to soak that kibble until if you pick up a little piece of kibble and you smash it between your fingers, it's going to be 100% mush. There's nothing hard in the middle. It's just completely soft. You can practically wring it out. So that's what we're going for here. So I actually soak mine overnight to make sure that it's ready for the next day. And that during the 3rd week of life, I feed once a day. From 3 to 4 weeks, they get fed once per day. So at 4 weeks, then they'll get fed twice per day. And then I start adding different toppers, pumpkin puree, sweet potatoes, cottage cheese, scrambled eggs, things like that, just to give their digestive enzymes time to really kick up and get going, get their bellies used to getting different foods digested, get their palates used to tasting different things, feeling different textures. Again, we want to drown these dogs in as much of new experiences as possible, whether that's smelling, hearing, seeing, touching, all of the things, all the senses we want to engage as much as possible to make really well-rounded dogs. And even something as basic as different tastes and different textures in their mouth make a big difference. So I put down the food, I let them have at it for about 15 minutes. Anything left after that, mom gets to clean up and she'll clean their faces off and all that happy jazz. But I let them have at it, like I said. And the amount of what you feed is going to change as they get older. Obviously, they're going to eat more and more. So I just start them off slow. It's not a rush. It's not a race. The other part of this is a lot of people focus on how big can we get these dogs? How fast can we make them large? So they'll start from the time they're puppies and they're pounding them with, the solid foods and high fat content, and that's not good for them. You want slow and steady growth rates. When you have really large dogs like this that are already prone to hip dysplasia, elbow problems, things like that, you don't want them gaining enormous amounts of weight fast. I'm not saying starve them, but I'm saying don't be like, I gotta bump them up fast. How much weight can we get them in? The heaviest is best. Because it's not. You're just stressing their growing bones, joints. Those growth plates are just trying their best to keep up with this dog that's already growing quickly. So just take it easy. This is not a race, okay? Not a race. So high quality, large breed puppy food with some toppers at 4 weeks. But before then, just soak it. Nice and mushy so their little mouths and emerging teeth can handle it. You don't want anybody choking. And just making sure that everybody gets equal access. If I had more than 6 pups eating, when we've had 12 to 14 pups, obviously you have to spread out in multiple pans so that everybody gets a fair shake. There is one that's the smallest, Mr. Cyan. I guess you could probably call him the runt. I make sure he's, in there. But this is where, you're going to see, growth really pick up because of the extra calories and nutrients and all that jazz. So do I worry about like Mr. Cyan, who's a little bit smaller? Not at all. As long as he's following his own growth curve, that's what we want. So everybody is loving it. They absolutely loved their kibble, as you can see. Here's the aerial view. He's a brindle. He's going to be brindle. That's Mr. Blue. Mr. Cyan right there underneath. He might be. That's Mr. Orange. And those two gals over there, one is Miss Tan and one is Miss No Collar. They're so dark. So dark. I'm going to be very curious to see what color they end up being. But yeah, definitely at least Mr. Blue is a brindle. Mr. Cyan there. So he is the smallest, but he looks good, even next to Mr. Orange, who is just a beast boy. Mr. Orange is our largest. And try to remember when you're picking out puppies or looking for puppies that it's not color. That should not be the first thing you're looking for. Really rely on those aptitude tests if your breeders do them. You want a good workable dog that's going to fit your needs. Color is just something fun to look at. As you can see, they're just got their little faces buried in all that. They are loving life right now. Mom's got to get in there and check it out and see what they're doing. She's like, let me have a little bit of taste. So now I'm just letting her kind of, have a bit. They've had a decent fill, but they're still going strong. They're hungry and they were ready for this. Okay, so there's Mr. Cyan pooping. The reason I wanted to catch this is before this, Mom has had to stimulate them to get them to potty, to help them along. And by this age, they don't need that anymore. So if you see your pups kind of dragging their butts along the ground at this age, it's because they are transitioning from needing that stimulation on their bottom to go to not needing it anymore. So they're still kind of trying to like stimulate themselves to go and not need Mom. So he pooped all by himself. He's a big boy. Mom is still cleaning it up. Some moms won't clean it up anymore at this stage. So then you got, your work cut out for you a little heavier, but it goes with the territory. But Mom is still cleaning theirs up, which is nice. Good mama, good puppies. Everybody's happy.